Hey, my name is Matt Giordano, theyogimat.com. Thank you for watching. Today, we're gonna go over my top 3 tips for pigeon pose without knee pain. In my latest online workshop titled Hips, Rock and Unlock 'em, I go over these 3 actions in detail. So if you like what you get here and you want a full practice, definitely check it out at theyogimat.com. First and foremost, when you come into your pigeon posture, let's start with a plantar flexed foot. That means a pointed foot like a dancer. And don't worry so much about getting both hips on the ground at first. In fact, actually lift them both up. The first step is an articulation of the ankle joint called everting the ankle. And when you evert the ankle in a plantar flexed foot in this shape here, the outer ankle lifts up. And when the outer ankle lifts up, it's an engagement of the muscles called the peroneus muscles along the outer shin. Helps to stabilize the knee joint in a few ways. The main one that I like is that when you press the outer edge of the foot down and the ankle lifts up, it actually creates a little bit of an external rotation at the shin. And what's important to know is that the thigh in pigeon posture is externally rotated. So we want the shin to be rotating in the same direction as the thigh. Otherwise, what happens sometimes is the shin rotates inward and the thigh is rotating outward, and you get a little bit of pressure in the inner knee. At first, when you try to evert your ankle, it's probably going to be very challenging to engage these muscles. So what I suggest is you slide a hand underneath your ankle and you try to just teach your foot to press down into the outer edge and see if you can get the outer ankle to lift up. Now, if that doesn't work at first, it's quite normal. What you could do is just shove a sock underneath here and keep it lifted. But the idea is that you, muscularly speaking, are trying to create this action. Step 2, what I like to do is anchor my outer right knee, which is the front knee in this case, down into the ground. And that's an action of what's called extension at the hip. It means you're trying to press down with the knee so that your buttock muscles fire up. And by anchoring the outer knee down while the outer ankle is lifted, we kind of put the knee in a better position for this next stretch. Also note that when you activate the buttock muscle, you're activating the line of energy that attaches to the IT band, which is a band of tissue that runs along the outside of your leg and attaches just below your knee. So when you stretch your buttocks, it pulls on the IT band, it pulls on the shin, on the knee, and can pull it out of alignment. While the idea is that we want to stretch this line, we have to recognize that when we stretch a line that crosses over a couple of joints, that we could be potentially creating pain in the joint. So the best way that I have found so far is step 1, everting the ankle and trying to externally rotate the shin. And step 2, activating the muscle that is stretching the buttocks muscles by pressing the knee straight down into the ground. Then, when you do that, you're going to lose the stretch in the right hip, which is okay. But to increase the stretch, the third step and the third tip that I have for you here is to lift the back knee up and spin the back hip down towards the ground via internal rotation of the back thigh the best you can. And once you have these 3 actions, if you want to increase the stretch, the idea is you lift everything but your front foot up and you move it back. When you do so, you're going to feel that your hip wants to open up. That's so that your body is trying to kind of avoid the stretch of the hip. Now, if it's all right with your body and you can kind of check in here, can you press your knee down? Can you lift your ankle up? You can then say like, okay, what happens if I lift my back knee up and spin my back thigh internally a little bit more? You'll increase the stretch. I want to just be clear that when you turn the back thigh in, it's going to pull on the front hip and all the way down at the knee. So that's where you can get some strain in the knee. If you turn the back thigh in and press the front knee down, that's where you're going to get a stretch and integrity at the knee joint. And what's also helpful to know is that by engaging the hip muscles of the front hip, the muscles that are stretching, you're doing what's called a facilitated stretch. You're activating the muscles that are stretching, which is a faster way to gain range of motion, aka flexibility. And this concept I go over a lot in my video, Hips, Rock 'em and Unlock 'em. If you want that video and you want to do a full practice of activating in this way, you can visit theyogimat.com. To recap these actions, 1, evert your front ankle and try to externally rotate your shin from that action. That should relieve some pressure in the inner knee, sometimes the outer knee, even if the outer ligaments are strained. 2, press the outer knee of the front hip down, which activates the buttock line down through the IT band and anchors the knee on the earth, so it creates less pull on the joint. And then lastly, turn the back thigh and hip in, and this will actually increase the stretch at the front hip, knowing that when you increase the stretch at the front hip, it'll pull on the front knee more. So as you feel that pull, make sure that you anchor the front knee down while you're increasing the stretch by turning the back thigh in. I hope that these actions serve you well, and if you really want to integrate them into your body and into your practice, visit theyogimat.com, where you can get my latest video workshop titled Hips, Rock and Unlock Them. For more free videos just like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter and also my youtube.com/theyogimat. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.